Well, here we are. Part 2 of our examination of what did Amiga Power think were the top 10 Amiga games of all time, at least as of May 1992. We've had some corkers so far: Knights of the Sky, Megalomania, Populous. What will they pick next? Let's find out. Taking the 5th spot, we have SimCity from Maxis. Now, this is the first version of SimCity I ever played, the Amiga version. I think it's known as SimCity Classic, and this is the one version I had was the budget release. I had like the white box and the Art Deco design that was used in quite a few of their re-releases, and there was a control panel on the front with disasters, as if you're like showing you what you're actually doing in the game. But yeah, I'm not sure I would place this in the top 10. It's difficult, not in the top 5 anyway. Maybe in like the lower. I think I personally place Gremlins Utopia higher. But let's see what AP had to say. SimCity looks dreary, there's no denying it. All those symbolic blocks and lines and dots, ugh. But, and it's a big one, there's no denying that anyone who takes the time to build up a fully functioning city, complete with its own businesses, commuters, traffic flow, rail network, crime raid, police force, fire brigade, earthquakes, floods, roving Godzilla, ! And all those other fascinating facets of life as you know it, will find a megalomaniac within tempted to the fore. It won't be satiated until universal harmonium has been achieved, and that could be take a considerable slice of your life. Dodgily programmed perhaps, but not so much that it gets in the way at all, but still one of the most original, perfectly conceived, and yes, most absorbing games ever. Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. Like, of all the sim games I played Sim Ant and I played Sim Earth. SimCity was the one that captured and captured me the most. Well, A-Train did. I say more than SimCity, A-Train did, because I just like that whole aesthetic and stuff like that. But yeah, SimCity absolutely deserves to be one of. I would put it in the top 10, not top 5, but top 10. Taking the 4th spot is The Secret of Monkey Island. Now, yeah, this is one you'd expect to find in a top 10 list, and because of the point in time we are, this is actually 2 months before Monkey Island 2 would be reviewed by AP. So I wonder if it would knock off this from the top 10 list. I know Monkey Island 2 is generally like more preferred than Monkey Island. I actually don't like Monkey Island 2 as much as Secret of Monkey Island. This is like by far my favourite overall in the series. Let's see what AP have to say. The Secret of Monkey Island is what would-be pirate Guybrush Threepwood must discover if he's ever to fulfil his dream of sailing the high seas and pursuing a romantic role with roguish aplomb. The Secret of Monkey Island is essentially an interactive storybook, the pages of which are easily turned with a comfortable mouse-driven interface. But these pages come to life with impressive location shots of pirate ships, seedy inns, mysterious mansions and treasure islands, and strong characters to interact with, such as pirates, ghosts, more pirates, piranha poodles, even more pirates, and a dog called Fido. There's a notion of painful humour to break the ice and some skanking good music too, which all told adds up to more atmosphere than possibly soaked up in the dirtiest of drinking dens. So strong is Monkey Island's hook that the level of disaccessing and adventure's projected average 30-hour playing time are soon forgotten. Fans of such delightful films such as The Princess Bride are in for a real treat. A firm Amiga Power favourite, The Secret of Monkey Island spliced the main brace with 90% back in AP2. So yeah, it's absolutely deserves to be where it is, and it would make my top 5 as well, because there's so many quotable moments, so many just wonderful moments. Yeah, so well done, Monkey Island. You've taken the heart of AP and me and so many others. And taking third spot, we have Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe. Now, yeah, this is easily one of the top Amiga games of all time. It's so timeless. This is one of the games, like Blades of Steel on NES, that Kit and I regularly fire up for a knock around, and just it's so pitch perfect in what it wants to do. And yeah, this would be my top 10 in the upper reaches of my top 10 for sure. It's just it's Speedball 2. It's what you'd expect to find here as well. So let's see what they say. It's short and sweet. The Bitmap Brothers' crowning glory is a future sports simulation which takes football into the next century and beyond. Speedball 2 is rougher and tougher than the hardest knight in shining armour, and has more metal too. The long and short of it is that two teams throw a shiny metallic ball around a printable-like pitch in an attempt to score the most points. The hard and fast action benefits from spot-on sounds and slick televisual presentation. There are teams to be trained, players to be bought and sold, and a league of matches to be won. Well, unless you simply fancy beating your best mate in a 2-player head-to-head game, it can go either way. But whatever the outcome, Speedball 2 is a winner. Yeah, it's just it's wonderful. Yeah, it's so many other games have tried, even Speedball themselves with Speedball 2100, to try and recapture what Speedball 2 achieved, and it's such a gigantic leap compared to the other one. It's wonderful. Taking second place, we have Formula 1 Grand Prix from Merc Pros and Sir Jeff Crammond. So, yeah, I don't have much experience with this, personally, because I missed out on it completely back in the day. The only F1 game I had was Nigel Mansell's Grand Prix, and I'm not even sure if it was a full game or if it was a demo. But yeah, if I'd actually seen this, I may have seen it in the magazines, but I'm not sure now. I would have been so impressed, because look at this. I mean, it's slow with your eyes. I'm running this on an A600 configuration like most people would back in the day. But yeah, just it's such a staggering technical achievement and advancement in F1 racing. I have large part to thank Yesazine for this, for my greater understanding of how just big a deal it was, thanks to his recent coverage of the game. So, let's see what AP had to say. To date, all racing simulations have lacked at least one, but by and large two, essential ingredients: the sensation of speed and a feeling of real depth. Both are abundantly evident in Formula 1 Grand Prix. You'll never guess. Formula One racing simulation so hot it would make Murray Walker wet his pants with excitement. A hitherto unseen combination of detail, smoothness and speed in his three-dimensional visual approach, plus scorching sounds and things that make you go vroom, such as the complete World Championship simulation featuring all 16 circuits. Yeah, that was such a big deal. Formula One Grand Prix earned its author Sir Jeff Crammond a knighthood. Well, from the Amiga Power team anyway. The impatient and limp-wristed take offence at initial loading procedure involving 4 discs, please. I played Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis and Beneath the Steel Sky and like 11 discs and 14, so yeah, 4 discs is nothing. But everyone else, be they bored or boring about motor racing, is in for revelation. There's a bit of a spoiling leak, so I won't go too far on this, because they spoil the first place position. But it says Formula One Grand Prix took pole position in AP7, but within a lap record of 92%. It's a score still only been topped by one game, the astounding Populous 2, which earned 1 mark more. So yeah, it's absolutely wonderful, and I do plan to play more of this with a bit of boost help and stuff, or maybe check out the PC version. But yeah, I can see why they would rate this so highly, because it's such a quantum leap. It's time now to reveal the number 1 game. What will it be? I bet you weren't expecting to find Rainbow Islands at the top. I certainly didn't, but yes, I've got APF a surprising amount to say, so let's dive right into it. It's the brightest star in the firmament. Yes, the firmament is a termament. Yes, it's still here. The Amiga Power all-time top 100 numero uno of last year is the same one this year. For Rainbow Islands is, in our not particularly humble but terribly honest opinion, quite simply the finest thing ever to occupy the Amiga's RAM. Wow. Why? It's cute, it's colourful, and it's chipper, and that's just for starters. There's also the fact that, like all the best things the Japanese produce, Rainbow Islands is bizarre beyond compare, and as such offers the opportunity for an unprecedented level of escapism. And hey, let's face it, that's basically what it's all about, isn't it? Anyway, isn't it? There's more to it than that, of course. There's the fact that you need to get to manipulate a short, fat boy called Bub, who walks and jumps with more skill and grace than Rudolf Nureyev at his peak. There's the fact that Bub throws rainbows to build bridges and trap or dispatch hordes of cute but crazy creatures. There are the big boss characters through 7 themed scenes, worlds to you and us, including Monster Island, Toy Island and Arkanoid Island, a tribute to classic game Arkanoid, the arcade original, which is also from Taito. And there's the fact that Bob gets to use loads of wild special features such as wings and magic stars, gets to find hidden rooms and bonuses sprinkled all over the shop, and gets to listen to a lively remix of Somewhere Over the Rainbow throughout the game. Rainbow Islands will fair warm the cockles of your heart, and no mistake, it's easy to get into and extremely hard to complete. It's packed with hidden things to find in constantly climbing movement. It provides a particularly basic and attractive challenge, and through it all, it radiates an aura of childlike innocence which take you back to your months in the womb. Compiling this new top 100, we didn't set out to make a Rainbow Islands our number 1, but despite the excellence of many of this year's new games, we couldn't bring ourselves to place any of them above it. Perhaps it's all that we're all specialist tastes of some sort or other. Sports sims, strategy games, RPGs and what have you. While Rainbow Islands somehow comes across as a pure computer game. And the Amiga version is so beautifully executed. Sob, it's lovely. Wow, that's... yeah, I can see what I mean. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like pure gameplay versus like anything else. It's like such a pure... yeah, it's like... how people like I showcased the SNES SimCity intro on Twitter the other day, and someone said it felt like the pure video game compressed in like in one instance. I see what AP mean. We're on the cusp of so many like interesting games. Like this is like too early. It's too early. Like Sensi is just coming out. Sensible Soccer. We're too early for Cannon Fodder. We're too early for Chaos Engine. We're too early for Walker and so many other games that might take the top spot if it was like a year ahead or two. It's just, yeah, it's, I can see why they would play, because I had to go to it yesterday to record this footage, and I really enjoyed it. It's not my, I think I'd probably place Bubble higher. Personally, I think that's still more of a pure experience, but I can see why they were so charmed with it and still rose it above everything else. But yeah, well, that's they're gushing. It's charming to see AP gush about something like this. Like, they're just such fans of it. Like, they wanted to gush, and yeah, that's their best game of all time, best Amiga game as of 1992. Oof, right, that's the end of our video and the end of the list. That was an interesting journey, and I do plan to do some follow-up videos examining some of the wider games that made the list, and also turning the clock forward an hour to 93 and 94 to see how the list changed and evolved as some of those games you might expect to find, but it was just too early for them. Things like Chaos Engine and Walker and Swass and Frontier Elite 2, and yeah, it's such a curious time. It was a joy to go through here and just try and guess what might be in here. And I hope you enjoyed taking this journey with me. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, this is Coffee and Retro Sharka saying have a good day and signing off.